Shout out to Cats Pod.
A great defensive play for Montana State.
Touchdown, Tommy Milan is electrifying.
Welcome to the Cats Pod. What's up, Podcats? We are back at it again after another beautiful Catterday. Some weirdness in this game for sure. Not exactly the way we wanted it to end, or not exactly the most beautiful game we've seen. But I think the overall thing that matters is that the Cats won. Like, that's first and foremost. The Cats won. Yeah. All the other stuff is kind of on the side, and you can take it or leave it, but the goal of winning was accomplished. Not many other goals were really accomplished yesterday, but the goal of winning was accomplished. Yeah. How you feeling, Eric?
I mean, it's a tough game to look at, right?
Mm-hmm.
Is it what we expected? No. But did we end up like NDSU? No.
Did not get upset.
We get to go on. We're playing again on Friday night.
Mm-hmm.
Like you said, the goal was accomplished. We're moving on.
Yep.
This thing is wide open.
Mm-hmm.
No Dakota States for the first time since 2009.
Crazy.
But like you said, man, there's a lot to unpack in this game.
Mm-hmm.
Good, bad, I don't know. It's just I feel like we need to jump right in head first.
Yeah.
Address the big elephant in the room. And honestly, we need to, and I feel like the listeners, whether you like it or not, you guys all need to get behind Julius Davis, because that man is nothing but class. And let's not forget, all of last year, when he had to sit on the sideline because he was hurt, who was the first guy to congratulate every teammate on a good play? Who was
Exactly.
Who was there first? Every time. Julius Davis.
Mm-hmm.
He was always first to congratulate his guys. He's always been a team first guy. And you know what? Last year, when we both know he had opportunities to go to more prestigious universities,
mm-hmm.
or whatever it may have been, he chose to stay here. So all I'm going to tell everybody is that if there's one thing about being a Montanan, is that we understand what loyalty is. And Julius Davis has been as loyal to this program and this football team and the fan base as any Bobcat on that team. Like,
mm-hmm.
let's keep this in perspective. Get off your high horse. One bad moment does not dictate what a person is. Julius
mm-hmm.
is a stand-up dude that has put the team first so many times and showed like the highest level of loyalty to the program.
Yep.
Let's not make more out of this than there is to, I feel bad for him at this point, man. The national media has taken this and they've run with it, and it's nothing more than what seems to be kind of just a miscommunication.
Yeah. It was an ugly moment. He's admitted it fully. He regrets the way that he reacted in the moment. He has apologized. And just like you said, the key point is loyalty. Because Julius Davis has been loyal to the Bobcats, loyal to Montana State through and through. He had a really ugly moment. And everything that he's done before this has earned us to have a little loyalty for Julius Davis.
Exactly.
Us to not exactly forget about it. It's like, yeah, you gotta do better. You gotta be better than that. And that's exactly what he said as well. He fully admitted that he needs to be better. He needs to be better in this moment, so he understands that, and it's not something that he aspires to be. And I'm gonna lean on all of the previous actions where he's shown that he's a great teammate and all of the things that you just listed, and I'm going to lean on that and not on this one moment. There was a podcast I was listening to. JJ Redick was talking, and he was talking about professional sports. And we're not quite at that level with the FCS. I know it's different things, but JJ was saying that throughout an NBA season, you would kind of get 2 freakouts where you would get a pass because you're in a room full of guys that are all hyper competitive, the best in their field, and there's going to be freakouts that happen. There's going to be arguments. There's going to be ugly moments like that. And pretty much twice a season, you got to pass for just having a freak out moment. And when you are an extremely competitive individual like Julius Davis, like Justin Lamson, like a lot of guys on this team, there's going to be moments where you get fired up. And you might not react in the best way possible. But it's not those small moments that make a person. It's the entire body of work that they have put out for us. And Julius Davis has shown that he is a high character individual that had a bad moment that got caught on national television. That's all it is.
Yep. I 100% agree with you. And I guarantee you nothing like that ever happens again.
Yeah. Sure.
Seriously, that will never happen again. I don't have a reputation, but I would stake what reputation I have on Julius Davis being the best teammate and the best person going forward, because that's what he was before this. Like I've been locked in a Twitter/Facebook battle with some of the biggest tools I have ever seen.
It has been a warrior weekend.
So I watched that game, and then I went night cabin last night. I didn't go to bed till 4 a.m., so I was on that Twitter keyboard warrior mode until 4 o'clock in the morning.
I don't know if that's good for you, man. That's not good for the mental health. But we got to be out there. We always say we're going to back them up. So you gotta put your money where your mouth is in that situation, and you did.
These people don't get to come after our guy like that. I mean, no. Ben, this is the Juice Squad we're talking about.
Yeah.
This is Julius Davis, who has given us so much to cheer for over the past quite a few years now. Like, he deserves the benefit of the doubt, as does every other football player out there. He's never done that before. It's never happened before. Like, these people are up on their high horse acting like they're so hoity-toity.
Mm-hmm.
Like, get out of here. Everybody has a bad day. I'm probably the worst loser you'll ever meet in your entire life. I hate losing, and it's always a temper tantrum.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, we didn't even lose, but I'm just saying, like, everybody gets the benefit of the doubt.
Yeah.
And he deserves it here. So I hope people listening, if you were trying to feel some type of way about this, just back off. Let him prove everything that we're saying, because I guarantee you this was a one-off thing.
Yeah, I agree.
And but now that that's out of the way, we can move on to bigger and better things.
Yeah, we're obviously entirely biased in this situation, and there's a reason why the first voice you hear when you listen to our podcast is Julius Davis. That's the first voice that you hear every time you listen to this podcast, and it is because he has been loyal to us, and he has been super cool to us from the very beginning of us starting to make this thing. He supported us with that little audio clip when we were recording this on 2 little mics and a cell phone. Like, this is a dude that supports everybody in Bobcat Nation, not even just the people on the team. So, and we can move on. I just also wanted to bring that part up because he's done a lot for us, like just the 2 of us, as well as the entire team.
Yeah. Like I said, if you're listening, see a different perspective on this, because he deserves it.
Yeah.
Now, I feel like before we get into the Cat game, we got to talk about the state of the FCS playoffs right now.
Yeah, it is getting crazy. It was a wild weekend all around. the Bobcats were not the only one that had drama going on. There was drama all over the FCS playoffs this weekend. I was switching back and forth between games, trying to pay attention to all this stuff, and it was just crazy. How was your day of watching, Eric?
I mean, I can't say good because I still have to air my gripe again with the broadcast times.
Yeah.
They've got to stop. They've got to stop putting this at such ridiculous. They can't have every game at the same time. You know what I mean? Especially when it's the playoffs and all the games are really good.
Yeah.
Because, if the Cat game would have been a blowout, then we probably would have got to watch a little bit more of some of the other games that were going on at the same time. But I'll be totally honest with you, man. I was glued to the Cat game. And so, I mean, I had a little bit going on my phone, but honestly, I couldn't take my eyes off the Cat game. And so I feel like they have got to do a better job scheduling games because
definitely
I missed almost the entirety of the Grizz South Dakota State game. That was a good one. I missed almost the entirety of NDSU Illinois State. That was a great one. Neener. And but anyway,
yeah.
I mean, it was a crazy day.
And you didn't get to watch much. I had the same problem. I was rocking dual screens. I had the Cat game up on my TV, and I was watching SDSU versus Montana on the iPad throughout the entire game. So I'm like halfway paying attention to that one. All of a sudden, I check my phone. There's 1 minute left in the NDSU Illinois State game, and I was like, NDSU is down right now with 1 minute left. So I switched quickly my iPad game over to that NDSU game, but I really only watched the last minute of that thing. So I couldn't give you a ton of breakdown on it or anything, but it was just insane. That moment of seeing that score and just being completely blown away. Because anybody who listened to the last episode, I did not give Illinois State any credit whatsoever, and I need to apologize to the Redbirds. I am extremely sorry because I completely misread this game and this situation altogether. Illinois State played that you would have to play a perfect game to beat NDSU, and they had some stuff bounce their way with injuries, but like craziness, biggest upset in FCS history.
That was they earned that apology from you because if I remember correctly, somebody laid out a game plan for the Redbirds to win.
Yeah.
And somebody laid out a way to get them convicted on drug charges.
Yeah, there was someone who did that. I wasn't going to get Illinois State convicted. I was going to get NDSU convicted. But it would be fraud fraud or entrapment for Illinois State. That's what I was laying out for them. But honestly,
this is me patting myself on the back for laying out the game plan for Illinois State. It doesn't matter that it was satire, but wow.
Yeah.
Things are wide open, man. And I don't feel like we even need to really break this game down at all because NDSU lost to a good team, but not a great team.
Obviously a good team. You beat NDSU, you're a good team at least. Like,
yeah.
Maybe we were overlooking Illinois State a little bit. I don't know. I don't know where to put it at right now, but you had to be overlooking them a little bit for them to be able to pull this off. And like you said last week, they played really tight with NDSU last time. So they deserve a lot of credit.
Yeah. I think, and the other one that we not really struggle with, we didn't struggle with NDSU. We both picked NDSU, but South Dakota State was, I think that they could not get over what Jimmy Rogers did to them last year.
Yeah.
They had no depth. They're so young. No, not taking anything away from what Montana did. But let's be totally honest. Like, South Dakota State's a better team than what happened to them on. They should have.
Oh, yeah. For sure. I think I would like to pat myself on the back for this game because I think we both ended up picking the Grizz, so neither of us were wrong in this situation. But I really think I laid down exactly what South Dakota State's problem was going to be, and I think it was just rhythm and how they were kind of meshing as a team because they've only been together at full strength for essentially a week and a half. So it's really hard to play against a team that is avoided the injury bug like Montana, so they have gotten to play completely in rhythm with each other for this entire season, and they have been rolling over a lot of teams outside of the few little bobbles that they had against, like, what am I trying to think of? Against Eastern Washington. Yeah, against Eastern Washington, and then obviously losing to the Cats. I really thought that them being a more cohesive unit with the season they've put together was going to be the factor that put Montana over the edge, and that I think that was the case.
Yeah. They get USD, though. Holy crap.
They're looking good.
USD looks incredible.
Mm-hmm.
We probably both owe USD a bit of not like a full-fledged.
Yeah, not the Illinois State level apology, but they definitely deserve an apology.
Yeah, I mean, we both still picked them, but we were both kind of like, this is a marginal team that maybe is putting it together. Yeah, I think they put it together. Yeah,
I think I call
Mercer doesn't get beat like that by very many teams. I guarantee you that.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, kudos to USD. Montana better get to the play. They better study hard because this is not going to be an easy game.
No.
And I don't care what anyone says because USD has played them all.
Mm-hmm.
All the good teams, USD plays them every single year. That is going into Washington Grizzly is not going to scare a team like that.
Yeah. But that's also why the Grizz part of the bracket is, like, insane when you start to break it down. Because they're going to have to go through SDSU and South Dakota, and then they get to play against Montana State if things work out the way that we think they will. That is the craziest draw for a 3 seed in the playoffs. I don't know how, and I know how it panned out that way because of the SDSU injuries and stuff like that, but they have the toughest road in the playoffs, and it's not deserved for sure.
That's a great segue into getting into this Cat game. We can finish it up the rest of that after the Cat game.
Mm-hmm.
But you said the toughest road in the playoffs. Yale is a very good football team.
Yeah, they definitely deserve some more credit. We were overlooking them, but they deserve some credit for sure.
Yeah. We probably should have done a little more homework on Yale. I had absolutely no idea that they had that many players returning from injury to play us.
Oh, yeah.
Which makes it even more impressive to what they did to Harvard and Youngstown.
Mm-hmm.
Because the players that came back are hyper talented, and it is impressive what they were able to do despite those losses, not having those guys available.
For sure.
That wide receiver is legit. I mean, that is one of the best wide receivers that, I've watched this year, to be honest with you. That guy's got maybe the best hands I've seen.
At the skill positions, they have very talented dudes.
Watch Taco.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That Brown had a great game. Pitzenberger was everything that he was touted to be. That is a very good running back. Speed, size. He played a very good game himself. Their quarterback, that was a lot of interceptions. It turned into a lot of interceptions, but it's just tough to play against the Cat defense these days. Like, he had a pretty rough day when you break it all down, and I think that was probably the factor that led to the Bobcats winning. Was just the defense gave up a lot of yards on the ground, a lot of big plays it seemed like, but when it came down to it, we would just get a pick, and then we'd take it the other way.
Yeah, the defense was definitely maybe not as sharp as we've seen the last few weeks, but despite that, when it mattered, they stepped up
Oh yeah.
big time. I feel like there's two guys that are really jumping to my. I should actually three guys that I think deserve a big shout out right now. Bryant Meredith had one of the best games for a defensive back not named Caden Dowler that I think I've seen in a long time, dude. Bryant Meredith was as sure of a tackler as we've maybe seen this year so far. If it wasn't for him, this is a different game because he was able to shed blocks and get guys without for little to no gain consistently. He was in the right spot all day long. I was really, really impressed with him playing that well. I knew we all know that he's a good player, but he definitely kind of elevated there a little bit, in my opinion. And the next one is Taki. Dude, Taki had a phenomenal game. He dang near had a pick off a batted ball. He was flying around the football field, made some huge tackles.
Yep.
And then I honestly think that, and actually a buddy of mine brought it up to me, and I completely agreed with it. But Alec Eckert might have had his best game as a Bobcat.
Yeah. He balled out as well.
While they were busy, while they were busy doubling Paul Brott on every single play, Alec Eckert was back there causing a lot of problems. Those three, and of course you have Caden Dowler, insanely good player. So, he gets a shout out every week, but I thought those three specific guys, that we maybe don't talk about a ton, definitely deserved a little bit of love, because without their individual efforts, this is a different game.
Yeah. And Meredith is somebody we haven't talked about much at all. Like he hasn't really, we've been overlooking that for sure, because we've talked a lot about the secondary as a whole, and we've talked a lot about Seth Johnson, and we've talked a lot about Carson Williams and those guys, but Meredith hasn't really been a big topic for us, and he gave us many, many reasons to talk about him this week. That was a stellar game for sure. And the only other guy that you didn't talk about yet, I don't believe you mentioned him, but Cole Taylor, once again leading the team in tackles in this game, and just continuing to step up whenever they need somebody. Xavier goes down, and then all of a sudden Cole Taylor's like, okay, don't matter, I'll just come in, get an interception and 11 tackles.
But he kind of falls into the same category as Caden Dowler. We're all, those guys, they don't have bad games.
Yeah.
And, I hate to say it, but we've gotten to the point where we expect greatness out of Cole Taylor, and he delivers every single week. And this game was no different. I mean, that guy is a phenomenal piece, and he's just the next linebacker for Montana State in a long list that includes Nolan Askelson and both the O'Reilly brothers and Mac Bignell. And we just, Troy Anderson. There's a list of these guys that goes back a long ways of just where you have that absolute stud linebacker. Danny Yu was a great example of guys that are just next level talent linebackers for the Montana State Bobcats, and Cole Taylor is the next one. We were missing a few pieces on Neil Daly was sick, didn't get a suit up. We definitely miss him.
Oh yeah.
Sounds like hopefully he'll be back next week, but you have to give a lot of credit to the defense in what was, a bit of a surprising day for us. I think the defense never broke.
Yeah.
They just kept fighting. Paul Brott, you can't say enough of good things about Mr. Paul Brott. He is exactly what you want Montana State football to be. I don't know how every play he was getting double teamed, and still always finds a way to be there. But despite that, it just never seemed like the offense could get into a groove.
That was the major problem. It just never felt like there was any kind of flow for the offense. We'd put together a few plays, a couple good, like a good drive here or there, but then it seemed like we were just punting the ball a lot. And I know Vegan mentioned that also in his press conference, that this was the most times that we've punted all season, I think, in a game. And that is not what we have come to be used to when it comes to the Bobcats. So they definitely have a lot of stuff to go over and film and fix all that stuff before we run into next week. But just a different team than we have been seeing in previous weeks. It was odd. It was an odd game for the offense.
Yeah, it was confusing, and I will say, watching Yale, I think that not only did we underestimate Yale, but the way they played, that might have been the best team that we've seen that's not named Oregon.
Oh, you really liked Yale's game. Damn. I don't know if I fully agree with that.
They play big boy football, smash mouth, run the ball down your throat, which is the kind of football that me and you love. Bobcat fans love it. Run the damn ball.
Mm-hmm.
And Pitzenberger, whatever his name is, that's the real deal right there.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not, the listeners know, I'm pretty hard on running backs outside of our running back room.
Yeah.
Pitzenberger is maybe the best running back that I've seen not named Land Larison come to Bozeman.
Yeah. He was legit, definitely.
I mean, he is hard to tackle. And the thing about Pitzenberger that really is, and makes it even more impressive with that the Bobcats were able to limit him somewhat. He doesn't need 50-yard gash plays to rack up yardage.
Nope.
He is what we are used to with our running backs at Montana State. They just churn 8, 9, 10, 11-yard carries one after another.
Yeah.
They, that's the kind of running back that reminds me of Julius Davis. That reminds me of Land Larison. The do-it-all, never slow down, maximum effort.
Yeah.
So I got to give him a little bit of love there, because that dude he's a superstar.
Yeah.
But their offensive line was very good. Their receivers are talented. Yale's a well-coached football team. Their quarterback is pretty good. Luckily, we were able to make him make a few mistakes. And he, got lucky a couple times. There was a few batted balls that, a couple inches a different direction are our ball.
Yeah.
But this is the point in the podcast where Ben and I need to do something that we don't like to do very often. We got to bring up the refs here, man.
Yeah. It was there. I was going to say, I didn't know if you were going to go there, but there was quite a bit of horse pucky in this game, especially in the first half, especially when it came to the way that they were just allowing the Yale secondary to do whatever they wanted. It felt like for at least a quarter, and it did feel dirty. And I was like, this is not what I expect. Is this the standard of the Ivy League, where you just chip at people and you're playing dirty out there? I was a little bit angry in the first half. It cleaned up in the second half, but they felt like they were playing kind of cheap in the first half for me.
It did, and I thought, I didn't really have too much of a gripe with the announcers. I guess I was more focused on the game than listening to them.
Mm-hmm.
But when those guys are not understanding how flags aren't getting thrown, and this is a one-sided affair. This is not happening on the other side of the ball. The Bobcats aren't doing that to them.
Yeah.
This was 100% the Yale defense getting away with a bunch of crap. You had Rocky Lencioni in the middle of the field get tackled on his neck before the ball was even close to him. No call. You have, I think it was Ryan King on the outside going for a long one. Ball was not catchable. but he was out of bounds, and the defender was also out of bounds before he just laid him out there. The announcers both echoed what every Bobcat fan thought, and the whole stadium erupted.
Mm-hmm.
That's a defenseless receiver, and he just smoked it.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't be having those kind of plays in a playoff game.
Mm-hmm.
And then, maybe the worst one of them all. Titan Fleshman makes the craziest awesome block on a guy, pancakes his ass, and Colby Frocher's punt run gets brought back.
Mm-hmm. It was a tough, and that was the moment where Vegan really lost his mind on that one, and it was just tough. If you look at the way the penalties evened out for both teams, Cats had 6 for 40, Yale had 3 for 20, so they were not throwing the flag on Yale at all. Cats stayed around their average for penalties. So it was just a weird game with a lot of no calls for Yale. Definitely felt like they were letting them get away with whatever, and it was like the Cats aren't going to play that game. They're just going to play a clean game. They're not going to look at the refs and be like, oh, they're allowing this stuff today. We're going to go out there and just start smacking people, because that's just not the way they're built. They just play clean.
Yeah. I mean, if you look at some of those plays, you can pretty well guarantee that fake punt leads to 7 points.
Oh, for sure.
That's the type of play that sparks a team.
Yeah.
Big time.
And it just crushed momentum when that flag was thrown. Just crushed the momentum.
Yep. And I feel awful for Titan, because what he did was exactly what he was supposed to do.
Mm-hmm.
Block that dude into the turf.
Yep.
It just horsepucky. Yes. Yeah. And I don't like to blame games on refs at time, ever really, but this time they influenced, like you said, kind of the whole first half. Yeah. They changed the way the Bobcats had to play Yale's defense.
Mm-hmm. It eliminated a lot of the passing game. It didn't allow for a lot of those that would have led to first downs. These are game-changing penalties when you don't call them. And it was just it was a weird day all around. I think that is the only way to put it. It was a weird day all around, and I was just glad that the Bobcats got out of there, because it felt like it felt like they were going to get screwed. Like that, it just kind of felt like that through a lot of the game, and then it was a one-possession game late on, and I was like, what kind of horsepucky are we going to see here that's going to end up sending this game to overtime or something like that? I was just happy to see that clock hit zeros. The Cats move on to the next round. They can build off this, get back to their old selves, and I don't think we're going to see this Cat team that we saw today ever again. Or yesterday, my bad.
I don't think so. I mean, those guys, they obviously want to win.
Mm-hmm.
And they're so used to, it's like you said, it was just a weird game.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody really knows how to feel. All that we know is that we get to live to fight another day.
Mm-hmm.
We get to see Stephen F. Austin on Friday night. And, I guess for me, the offense, they did put together some good stuff.
Yeah.
Especially in that second half. Adam Jones really started feeling it. Adam Jones played really, really well today.
Yep.
Had a nice long touchdown run there. He was finding the edge.
Mm-hmm.
I thought the offensive line did a really good job, and, they kept Lamson pretty darn clean.
Yeah.
Hopefully, love Lamson. Know this is a one-off thing. Know this guy rises to occasions. We saw it last week. We saw it against UC Davis. We saw it all season long. those fumbles were not cool.
Yeah. And it was so weird to see that from him. It's just not what we're used to.
Uncharacteristic.
Just a weird game.
Yeah.
And they had to win ugly this week. That's just the reality of it. And we're not saying anything that Vegan didn't already say himself.
Right.
He would completely agree. I'm sure everybody on the team would agree with us. They are not satisfied with a win like today. They want to be better than this. They still, and that's kind of good in the playoffs to have, because you could tell that those players are still hungry. They know that they're better than this, and they want to be way better than this. They want to be a championship caliber team, and they know that today wasn't, or they know that Saturday was not that.
Yeah. I don't know, man. I'm still tickled to death. We got to win.
Yeah.
I'm still tickled to death. We live to fight another day. But that was stressful.
Yeah, definitely. It was a
That is
very
not
stressful
how-
day.
This is not how I like my football games to go, which
Nope.
we've been spoiled these last few years to not have a ton of stressful football
Yeah.
to watch. The Cats have really manhandled everybody, and when it all comes down to it, I have a hard time believing a reality check is not a bad thing.
No, I don't think it hurts anything to get a little reality check. You're exactly right.
I think going forward, we're gonna have to do some paying attention to these injury reports now.
Yeah, definitely got to do better about that.
Well, I mean, a lot of this wasn't even listed until game time. So, but we got quite a few guys that maybe aren't feeling the best right now. We were missing Neil Daly and Rylan Schlepp, two major contributors to this football team. Rylan Schlepp, I think his presence was maybe missed a little bit more than Daly's in this game, but Daly is a huge piece of that defense.
Yeah.
Hunter Province wasn't out there a ton.
Nope.
He played, but I think he's still got a little something going on. Hunter Parsons, he got hurt in Cat Grizz. I think he's still a little banged up. Paul Brott, kind of every week, a little hurt. We lost Aarons for what seems like a substantial amount of times. We lost J.J. Dolan for the season.
Yep. We
don't really know about Aarons right now. I saw Braden Zimmer limping around a little bit. It's the Bobcats medal is going to get tested here. There are a lot of guys that are feeling this season start to take a toll.
Yep.
And I have faith. Sean Howe's done a fantastic job. Vegan has built this team to the nines.
Yeah. And
now we're going to find out just how deep the Montana State Bobcats roster truly is. Because, I think that, we played the Grizz and then we played Yale. Those are two smash mouth games.
Yeah.
That, it's just hard to believe that, everybody can stay healthy.
Yeah.
It just, with all that flying around.
Yeah.
Seth Johnson wasn't out there a ton. At least I didn't see him.
Yeah, it was a different kind of game for him for sure.
Caden Dowler left. Caden Dowler left after the very first play. I was really nervous about that.
Yeah.
Luckily, came back, seemed to be all right, got a pick, cashed me out a nice little plus 500 bet on Sportsbet Montana for that one.
Yep.
Yeah.
It was good.
Playoff football, man.
It's the real deal.
It is.
Yeah.
It is.
And that was, I think that bringing up Rylan Schlepp is good because with the injuries and with the kind of being a little bit injured of those tight ends, I know a lot of Sturbick's offense involves those two tight end sets. And so when those tight ends are not at their peak, it kind of shrinks the playbook, I'm guessing, a lot for them. Because when we talked with Schlepp, he brought up how they're running a ton of those those 2 tight end sets, and Schlepp doesn't get a ton of passes, but Schlepp loves to block, and missing that blocker out there and somebody that just has a true love for that, and I'm not saying that the other tight ends don't. We just haven't talked to them,
Yeah.
It affects the offense a ton, so that's great to bring that part up.
Yeah. I think his presence was really missed out there. As far as the rest of the offense goes, it was just a weird day. A weird day for the offense, could never get into a rhythm. But I also think, like I said earlier, a good reality check is really good. And we both know those guys are in the lab now.
Oh, yeah.
They
Definitely.
Nobody had to been happy with the performance.
Yeah.
And I don't think we'll see anything close to that next week.
No.
If I'm just guessing.
No, I wouldn't think that either. Should we touch on the other game results that we didn't yet? Real quick.
Yeah, probably. We can go quick through these. There wasn't a ton to talk about.
Mm-hmm. We got
especially Villanova. What the heck?
just a boring game that they ended up winning on that one. Not great, but Villanova did beat Lehigh 14-7. So they do get to move on to the next round. It'll be interesting to see what happens there. I was very wrong on UND, so that's hand up for me. Believing in the Hawks way too much. Tarleton State just kind of creamed them. So my bad there.
Yeah.
SFA pulls off the victory, so we get our rematch with SFA next week that I know we've been looking forward to, and I'm sure we'll talk a lot about that on Wednesday. The other one that I really wanted to talk about a little bit was UC Davis looked very good against Rhode Island. UC Davis looks good.
Yeah, and honestly, that game was closer longer than I thought it would be.
Mm-hmm.
I knew Davis was going to kind of beat them pretty well, but I looked at the score right around halftime. It was actually pretty close.
Yep.
I was kind of surprised by that, and then Caden Pinnock is a problem.
Mm-hmm.
That is a situation to monitor.
Mm-hmm. He is very good, and he played a very good game. They buried them in the fourth quarter. It was just every time I looked at my screen, it seemed like UC Davis was scoring another touchdown. And they started piling on at the end, and the fans were chanting, warm up the plane for like the last 6 minutes, it felt like. It would just, they buried them, and if UC Davis keeps playing like that, I'll have to double check the bracket quick, but yeah, they could be looking, if they keep playing like that against Illinois State, they could be looking at a run to the championship if they keep that caliber of play up.
I 100% agree.
Yeah.
I'm pretty confident that UC Davis is the best team on that side of the bracket now.
Mm-hmm.
I think there's a really high likelihood, barring any crazy injury, that they might just run it.
Yeah. They looked very, very good in that late game, and I got to watch a good portion of that one since it wasn't stacked up with all the rest of the games, ESPN. But that ended up being a very entertaining game to watch, and just like you said, Pinnock is definitely going to be a problem.
Yeah, he is a talented bugger, that is for sure. The playoffs this year are so much better than they were last year.
Mm-hmm. It was so entertaining today. So much craziness. I was blown away with the quality of the FCS playoffs.
Yeah. I with all the football yesterday, all the craziness, I honestly didn't watch a single second of the NFL today. Didn't even care.
Yeah.
It's not what I'm looking for. FCS playoffs, the last few years they've been not super competitive in the first couple of rounds.
Mm-hmm.
Going chalk almost every single game, if not every game.
Yep.
And this year, boy, what a change.
Yeah.
And it just goes to show that the FCS playoff bracket is awesome.
Yeah. It is
They have
the
it
best
right.
way.
Yeah. I mean, there was realistic possibility of, the Yale Bulldogs upsetting the Montana State Bobcats. I mean, thank God that never happened. But that was not everybody was totally convinced Montana State would win that game there, at the end of the third quarter. But it's a fun bracket, and I am pretty sure the fireworks are going to continue next weekend.
Yeah. There's some crazy matchups for us to get more into on Wednesday for sure. Is there anything else you wanted to tell the people? I think I'll give them the standings on our bracket challenge real quick, and then we can probably let everybody go.
Go for it.
Alrighty. So we did have a ton of shakeup. I mentioned it before that this week was going to change everything when it came to the standings in our bracket challenge, and it lived up to the bill with all of the upsets. Right now, we are looking at the top. We have a number one right now, and it is Eric Kletke. I am really sorry if I'm pronouncing your name incorrectly. Kletke. I'm saying that's Kletke. I apologize if I'm mispronouncing your name. And then we got a little group of three right behind him, down 1 point to him with Cody Seckham, Riley Rivers, and Wyatt Wichman. So it changed everything in the bracket.
I don't know if Cody will listen this far into the podcast, but
maybe
if Ben and I lose to Cody Seckham, I am going to be so embarrassed and mad at myself. I guarantee you, Cody probably doesn't even know where Illinois State is actually from.
I think there's an even more intriguing matchup here for you, Eric, and that is the fact that you have dropped below your wife by 1 point. You're 1 point below Brooke Lover, and that's a problem for you. That's a problem in the household right there. Me, Brooke, and our buddy Keegan, the only person to pick the Grizz, are all tied up at 15 points, and Eric Lover's sitting at 14 points right now. So I don't know if you want to focus on Cody right now or you just want to focus on beating everybody in your own household.
Oh, thank you. Thanks, Ben. Thanks for really calling me out here. I super appreciate that. Do we have any familiar names on the very, very bottom?
On the very, very bottom, not really. Nope.
No?
Nobody I know. Outside of our buddy Miles, who's sitting at 0 points because he didn't put his bracket in time. That's about it.
I think...
we do have one. Okay. We got Brinkley. Our buddy Brinkley is sitting at the very bottom right now. He went from the top last week to the bottom this week, so anything can change round to round. Still stay invested in it. If we see any more crazy upsets like we did this week, I'm sure it's going to shake up a ton more again.
Yeah. I kind of wonder if I really wonder if somebody in the absolute middle that we haven't even looked at yet is going to win this whole dang thing.
It's possible.
Because there have been so many games that nobody has had the same bracket, really.
No.
I mean, I feel like the majority had Montana State, North Dakota State in the championship.
Mm-hmm.
But getting there, a lot of people took real different routes for a lot of different teams.
Yep.
So, yeah.
And like you mentioned that, and it gives you like the total possible points on here. And right in the middle is Shane Cavallini, and he has the best possible score of 37. So he could go on to win this entire thing if he picks everything else out perfectly. He could pass everybody up. He has the most possible points out there.
Yeah. It's I'm enjoying this bracket challenge. This is fun. We will definitely be doing this again next year.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yes, sir.
Are you all good, Eric?
I think so. We will. We just had to do 2 this week.
Mm-hmm.
This may be a thing going forward, Ben. What do you think? It's playoff football.
Oh,
We're both a little more invested in this. We're gonna try and cook a little something up for Wednesday.
Mhm.
It may just be a pick 'em pod, but I did have a friend from North Dakota, big NDSU guy, that is willing to come on, and that takes some balls.
Yeah, that definitely does. Definitely does.
We will discuss and move forward.
Alrighty. Well, thanks everybody for listening to this episode. Go ahead and rate this 5 stars wherever you are listening to it at. Go ahead and catch us on X or Instagram at CatsPod. Catch us on YouTube at The CatsPod. And we will catch you guys on Wednesday to break down round 3 of this amazing FCS bracket. Have a good week, everybody.
Adios.